Welcome to Canada's podcast.
Hello, this is Robert Smigel, and welcome to the BC edition of Canada's podcast, where we talk to entrepreneurs who are making it happen here in British Columbia. Today's guest is Jacqueline Frederick. With a background in health and wellness, she works with her clients by focusing on their individual emotional, spiritual, and business needs so they can identify their best lives. Well, Jacqueline, welcome to Canada's podcast. Thanks for taking the time today to be here for all our listeners.
Thank you very much. I'm excited to be here. And I look forward to just being able to add value in any way that I can here today.
Awesome. Well, we got a lot of people listening, and hopefully you'll provide some great value for entrepreneurs across Canada. So let's get started.
Absolutely.
And tell us a little bit more about yourself. We know you're in kind of by the Crescent Beach area in beautiful Vancouver, and then give us the details on your current business.
The details on my current business. Like you said, I am from Vancouver. I grew up
born and raised.
Pardon?
Born and raised Vancouver.
I actually born in Vancouver, and I grew up over on Vancouver Island. And I've been over in Vancouver on the mainland about 15 years. And an entrepreneur now. I left my corporate job about 4 years ago, and took a little while to kind of get my niche and just exactly where I wanted to focus. But in the past year, I really dove heavy into, just helping women anywhere between mainly 25 and 40, like you said, identify their best life, but also help them health-wise, whether that be mind, body, or spirit. I kind of basically have two funnels where one is just strictly wellness. And then I also do the one-on-one coaching and reprogramming of the mind as well.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
4 years ago, you started. Did you need financing to start your company? And how do you currently make money in your business now? How do the dollars come in?
How are the dollars coming in? That's a good question. Basically, with my one-on-one clients, I still do take a few clients online, personal training and nutritional clients. And then I do either 1 month or 3 month programs as well inside Identify Your Best Life. Basically coaching clients, whether they are starting their own business or whether they really just want a change. And that's how I'm currently making my money. And then also the tangible product is our water machine as well, and our wellness water. Okay. And so I also help people get set up in their homes with those as well.
Okay, I want you to give me a key piece of knowledge or information about your specific industry that our listeners can learn from that they may not know about.
Oh, interesting question. To be honest, the first thing that popped into my mind is definitely around the mindset. And one key piece of knowledge I would always say is, it's amazing how much power we have over our mind when we learn how to understand our mind. And that is simply what I teach people to do. And for instance, any belief, if you will, whether you got it from a kid or you created it and decided it yourself, I help people be able to navigate past whether or not it's limiting or whether it's serving them, if that makes sense.
Okay. So someone would say a programmer or a social media expert or something like that. You would coach them on how to eliminate those limiting beliefs on how they want to grow their company and take it to new levels, right? Is that?
Yeah. And, I think with starting anything, whether it be professionally, personally, spiritually in your life, change is going to be inevitable. And a lot of humans, as you know, are very afraid of change. Lots of fears can come up. And so, I coach people when those fears do come up and how to get through them so they can continuously grow.
Okay, awesome. Okay, now you're located in kind of southern BC, close to the border there. But you obviously have clients possibly in other countries. What's the long-term vision, and what will your company look like in the future? Do you see the company expanding into other areas, and where beyond Vancouver, BC, or even Canada?
I love these. Well, with Enagic, which is the company for my water, they're global already. So they're in every country. We can help people get set up that way. My own personal, vision, absolutely. I've got clients in the US. I've got clients down in Morocco, one-on-one coaching clients, lots of obvious clients down in the Lower Mainland and over on the island. But I really see myself expanding as big as possible. I really believe there's no limit. And I'm currently working with a few girls in the US as well, collaborating on how we can, put our coaching together and be able to start things like, women's weekends, wellness weekends in different parts of the world. And to be able to have different coaches come and then people come and just experience that. And so, yeah, my vision is it will go everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So we've learned a little bit about you. We've learned a little bit about your company. So let's talk about doing business in British Columbia and what that looks like for you. What are the biggest benefits for you and being an entrepreneur here in Vancouver, BC? I want you to give us some of the good points about starting a company here, but I also want you to give us some of the tough things or challenges for our listeners so they can keep an eye for them.
Well, I mean, honestly, living in growing up in Vancouver and British Columbia, I do feel very blessed. There's lots and lots of opportunity here in terms of education, seminars, people that come and speak that we can go and take advantage of as well as an entrepreneur. And honestly, I just really feel like living in one of the areas of the world where people really, really value health and really value their mindset as well, makes it quite easy for me to, branch out and speak with people. And they want this. It's in high need where I live, I believe, and what I can see. And I think that's one of the huge benefits. I was thinking about this actually before we talked, because I knew that you were going to talk about challenges a little bit. But I feel like for me, what's challenging here, there's also, flip the coin. There's so many of me, right? And although I'm me and myself alone, I've got my own personality and what I do, but it is very competitive. There's lots and lots of people online, obviously everywhere, but here especially lots and lots of people that are health influencers, whether that's personal training, mindset coaching, spiritual coaching, even relationship coaching. So it's really going outside the box, continuously making sure that I educate myself, because I feel like, and I've seen, if I don't continuously grow, then I can get left behind really quickly here, because everybody's always learning. Everybody's always wanting to grow and get better. So to me, it's like, is that a challenge or an opportunity? I look at everything like an opportunity. Really, in terms of other benefits, I have a lot of really good mentors here that live close to me, which is really good. So a lot of really good training. One of the guys that's all the way almost at the top 25 of Enagic is originally from Vancouver. So I can go in person and see him and hear him speak and all these things, which is awesome. And then also one of our really big leaders too actually lives in the same town as me. So that's a huge benefit to me, just in how they coach. Right. And how that I've got to meet them, firsthand. But does that kind of make sense and how to answer your question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could go on forever, but how many answers do you want?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Let's talk about, we have a lot of people moving to Vancouver, to British Columbia. And as you know, real estate and everything is very popular. But I want you to look at it as if you've never been here before, so you can speak to them. If you were to start all over again and you just moved here to Vancouver, BC, but this time you don't know anyone, knowing what you know now, what would you do? And how would you go about starting all over again as an entrepreneur in British Columbia?
From all the mistakes I've made, you mean?
Yeah, those.
Honestly, take away all the stuff that's kind of happening right now in the world. If I was to just move to Vancouver and I was brand new, I would definitely, first of all, I would get living downtown. I live on the outskirts. a little bit more. I would really want to live a little bit more right in the heart of Vancouver because lots is going on. And when I first started, I was feeling like I was afraid of a lot of things. You know, I lived in a pretty fearful state, and I really truly believe if I would have done this right at the beginning, it would be even more of a game changer. But making sure that you invest in some sort of mindset coach or somebody that is going to be able to lead you and guide you through that beginning of that process, I truly believe in that. And also, living downtown, because there's just so much more that's going on that you could be able to go to. I feel like it's a little different on the outskirts.
Yeah, head into the heart of the city and go from there.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, let's talk a bit about your routine, and that helps you get motivated. What does the first hour look like for you when you get up in the morning? Do you have a specific routine or a ritual that helps you get motivated to start your day?
Oh, now you're speaking my language. And I love that question. And absolutely, first and foremost, I believe the first 20 minutes of your day and the last 20 minutes of your day are the most crucial time of your entire day, whether that's going to be setting yourself up for success or letting yourself wind down and recharge your subconscious in your sleep. So the first hour of my day, I get up. I have a pretty strict routine for sure. I make my shake, my nutritional shake. I have all my vitamins. I meditate first and foremost before I look at anything electronic. I don't touch my phone at all for the first hour of the day, other than to play meditations. So it is a 10-minute meditation. It is a 3 gratitude journal, and it is a short paragraph on one positive thing that's happened or one optimistic thing that's happened in the past 24 hours. And it's scientifically proven that those 3 things alone really help with the happiness inside somebody's mind. So I do those every single day with my shake, and then I get right into exercise first thing.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Do you think entrepreneurs have to be weird or unique in a positive way, or are wired differently?
I think a little. I think that, I think everyone's a little different. But I don't think that an entrepreneur has to be that at first. I think that anybody can be those things. I think being open-minded and coachable, you can change any belief, because it's all just beliefs at the end of the day, right? Of what you are. In terms of being an entrepreneur, I know that I've always been geared towards risk. I've always been, I knew I would never be a person that worked 9 to 5 and would want to build somebody else's dream. I think you kind of have to have that ingrained in you a little bit and enjoy creating as well. That's a big thing, and very, very disciplined for sure, which can be taught over time. But no, I've taken girls and guys, to be honest, both sides of it, that have come from 9 to 5. And after a year of coaching, are full-fledged into their entrepreneurship and loving it. I just had to help them get past some of their mindsets first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurs can be big readers. What books are you reading now, and why, or even audiobooks and or podcasts? And can you recommend
That's exciting.
Any books for our listeners who are also entrepreneurs?
Well, right now I'm getting into some more business books because I've been moving in the last month into learning a little bit more heavy on my business and money mindset. But my 3 favorites, and it's interesting you asked that because I for some reason thought you would. I left them beside here. First and foremost, I absolutely love The Slight Edge. And it's basically about turning simple disciplines into massive success and happiness. Looks like this for anybody that wants to check it out. And really, The Slight Edge is about building habits, micro habits every single day to get to the outcome. And this is a must for all my business builders, all my clients. It's my favorite book. By far, I could probably read it 10 more times. Brene Brown is one of my favorites. I've been following her and studying guilt and shame and perfectionism for years. And The Gifts of Imperfection is amazing. And really just teaches people how to understand how to step into their power instead of into their perfection, because we all make mistakes, right?
Yes.
I talk with my hands, I'm a little crazy, and really being comfortable with who you are and stepping into that light as well. So that's one of my other faves. And then for those of you that really enjoy self-development as well, Rachel Hollis is great. And this one's called Girl Wash Your Face. And again, it's it's kind of business and self-development in one. And it's all about the limits and the lies that we tell ourselves. And so she really talks about how to get past those and how to understand, when you are limiting yourself. And so those are the three that I want to share today. And they would help anybody at the beginning of, to be honest, starting anything new.
Okay, we talked a bit about this, about the lifestyle of British Columbia, and we do offer a lot: mountains and rivers, lakes, oceans, you name it, we got it. Some of the best skiing in the world. How do you balance work and how do you relax and not think about work? And what are your favorite activities to do in BC? Do you ski, bike, kayak, golf, hike, or simply go for a drive?
Well, I kind of believe in the 80-20. Well, not kind of, I do believe in the 80-20 rule. And, when I'm in my 80% and I'm geared and I'm focused and I'm doing my thing, I am, I do like what they call the not the 4 work week, but the day and the 4-hour work day. And I really just, again, I am doing full on income producing tasks, and I am focused with phones away and things away and doing those things. Focus has always been a challenge for me. I could do 10 minutes and get up and do something else, no problem. And then in my 20, when I am relaxing and doing my own thing and taking care of myself, I love to hike. I mean, we live in Vancouver. I live in Vancouver. There's so many beautiful hikes, nature, also very, very good for mental health, just clearing the mind, getting outside. I get outside 30 minutes a day is my rule. And whether that's a walk around my area or I'm somewhere beautiful like White Rock Beach or some of the hikes that are around here, I'll go do that. Again, I do lots of different meditations. I'll go find a really awesome area with a coffee or a tea, and I'll do meditation on the beach and things like that. Like, it's really nice, honestly, to get outside. And how I balance it out is, over years, I've just realized that, there's obviously some seasons in an entrepreneur's life where your foot's on the gas and you're giving her because you're building your baby. And it honestly never feels like work because of how much you understand why you're doing it. But I also know I can't help and serve other people unless I fill my own cup. And I really believe in that wholeheartedly. And I teach people to do the same.
Okay. If you weren't doing what you do now, what would you like to do for a profession?
Well, honestly, I want to get into speaking. And I've always, since I was little, loved to sing. And I love music. And I took singing lessons for like 10 years. And I was always too scared. And I always had too much fear to go up on stage. So that is one of the dreams I have for myself, is to get into music somehow. There's a few different opportunities that I've started to look at, and I'm currently taking some music lessons now. So I feel like I could, with what I already do, I could add in speaking and kind of TED Talk, stuff like that, and then maybe get into a little bit of music as well.
What kind of a job would you not like to do, could not do it?
What kind of job would I not like to do?
Yeah. Is there anything you couldn't do?
Well, I have an amazing virtual assistant because I don't like sitting at a computer very much. She does all my admin, all of my paperwork, all of the things that some influencers and leaders really don't want to sit and do because they want to focus on their content, their speaking, and how they coach people. So I definitely can't say I would ever do like a 9-to-5 in an office where I'm sitting. Anything sitting.
Okay. In business, what's your favorite word, quote, or sentence that you like to use?
That's an interesting question. In business, what's my favorite word core?
Or sentence that if someone who works with you said, she says this all the time.
I say this all the time.
Yeah. What's something? What would
Oh,
that be?
I always say things like step into your power over perfection.
Okay.
That's one definitely that popped into my mind first.
Okay, cool. If you had to pick one or two words to describe yourself, what would it be and why?
One or two words. It's so hard just to pick two. I would definitely say with what I do and how I show up, very authentic. Even when I'm nervous, and even right now, I can feel like I'm like stepping into me. But I really am authentic myself. And why? I just honestly know, and I believe, and what I've seen is that that's the best way to create connection with other people. I'm a person that loves to connect with others, and I know I can't find my tribe or attract what I'm looking for unless I'm authentic myself. And honestly, I believe I'm brave. I honestly know that I'm very brave. There's been times where, the words, I connect well with myself as well. They bring tears to my eyes because there's been so many times through not only my entrepreneur journey, my journey, just working on my own business, but through my life where I've really had to show up and take massive action and just dig into, my highest self. And I believe that takes a lot of courage, a lot of bravery.
Okay. Anything keeping you up at night these days? Business related, company, growing?
For the whole world to see. Keeping me up. Well, yeah. And I'll be vulnerable in this for sure with you. There's been a bit of a relationship in my life for the past few years that I'm really wondering and thinking, is it the right relationship for me in terms of my personal life? Just because of a few conflict in values. And I really have learned over time that I make all my decisions based on my own value system. And that takes a while to understand about yourself, to really just know where you stand with things and what your boundaries are. And so a little bit that keeps me up at night, just kind of my indecisiveness with that. And I know if I was to be honest, coach somebody else, what I would say. So I think that me being a little more honest with with me is, again, there's that bravery word again. I have to just do what's going to serve me best.
Okay, I want you to give us the top 3 things on your inspired life list. This could be stuff you want to do, where you want to travel more, philanthropy, write a book, anything like that, TED Talk, anything like that you want to do?
Well, going back to even what we were talking about with what I want to do, like on my bucket list, I will sing on a stage and conquer that fear. And I'm currently taking a course where I'm building a different kind of relationship with fear. So that's a huge thing for me. Like I said, I absolutely love music. TED Talks for sure, getting just more into the world of speaking and shining more that way. Since I was little, I've wanted to talk. That's kind of what I do. Speak to people. And I, just kind of like Brene Brown does, like I would love to be able to do like seminars and speak to, young women or even men, like just people that are up and coming in their 20s and stuff, and just understanding their own self better and kind of what I've been through and share my story. Yeah. I would really love that as well. And honestly, I haven't seen that much of the world yet, and I want to see the whole thing. So that's definitely on the bucket list.
Traveling. That's another thing. 2 things. It's funny because 2 things I've learned being on stage, I've done that many times, has helped me in a lot of areas in life, like presentations and things like that. Enables me to have I've taken the fear factor out of any type of presentations and stuff. So being on stage has definitely helped with that. So encourage you to definitely go down that road. I think it'd be something that
it's just one of those things, like once I get going, and you'll notice I look over there because that's how I process when I'm talking. I'm always like looking above and be over there. And it's like when I was a kid, and I was thinking about this before we got on, and I wanted to share this. I was always told growing up, you talk too much, you're a distraction, or you're, like all of these things that back, 30 years ago, the teachers maybe didn't understand as much about different types of kids and how they learned. And so I've really overcome this like belief where, to be honest, I just talk too much and it's just a huge pain. And so for me to be able to stand on stage and conquer that fear would mean more to me than absolutely anything. And know that people want to hear me.
Yeah. Also travel too. Yeah. Travel too has really helped me because I'm able to relate, and I can go to any network event or whatever that looks like. And if they say I'm from that country, then I've got something to engage the conversation with. But we're not just talking about business. We're not talking about me, but we're talking about them and what that looks like. Because, Canada's all about diversity. So it's just good to go away, travel the world, come back, and then you can have a different outlook when you sit down and whoever you meet, wherever you meet them, in Vancouver specifically, you'll be able to kind of talk about what their lives are like and they're coming over to Canada.
I'm very excited.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to see, all sorts of different cultures. And I know you're right too. It's just, or effective, pardon me, and then when you come back to where you're from, gives you a different outlook on, okay, this is where my landing landing base is and where I grew up. But I mean, there's so much more, I feel like, to the world and different types of people. And like I said, I love to connect with all sorts of different types.
Okay. Do you have any advice that you may have received that you can pass on to entrepreneurs throughout Canada?
Are they starting entrepreneurs or just in general?
Yeah, just in general. Some really good advice someone told you one day that you said, you know what, I really like that. I think I could pass that on to other entrepreneurs throughout Canada. If there was a kind of a gem.
It's twofold to me. I really do want to speak to the younger community a little bit than me, just because when I started, somebody very much said to me, Jacqueline, you're amazing. Expect change, expect fears to come up, and it's all going to be okay, and continuously fail forward. They always used, somebody really smart said to me. And also when I was listening to one of our head guys of my company last week, he was really talking about discipline and sacrifice as one of the 10 commandments. And if I was to give somebody advice, I would really say, understand your why. Understand why you're starting a certain business or involved in it. Understand your why and really dig deep, like to the level 4 of yourself internally to understand that, because then there's nothing going to get in your way. And that'll really help you. And really, that'll help you thrive the best that you can, for sure.
Okay, cool. Okay. We're going to wrap this thing up. How can our listeners get hold of you? And is there anything you'd like to add before you leave us today? Emails, Twitter, anything? How do you connect with people?
Well, I definitely have, Jacqueline Frederick Instagram, or my name is Jacqueline Frederick on my Facebook, either personal or my business page. And so you can always look that up and message directly or DM in Instagram. And my email is identifyyourbestlife@gmail.com. So all one word @gmail.com as well. You can always shoot me an email. And I just really want to say, I'm really excited to be able to not only speak to new and up and coming entrepreneurs, but people that are just doing the same thing I'm doing and, really, really stepping outside their comfort zone every single day. And, I think with all your questions that you asked, the number one piece of advice I would give is to continuously just get uncomfortable, do things that freak you out and might, conjure up a little fear, because that's truly when you grow. And that's when you start to really understand who you are best. And that way you can show up in your authentic self. And
I always found that dealing with uncertainty was one of my biggest mountains to climb. But once I climbed that mountain of uncertainty, not knowing what would happen to the next day, it just made life easier. Just being able to go, I can survive. I can survive that if I.
It really does, and it's so interesting too, because I grew up with two parents that they're amazing, but very much instilled in us, like the what ifs. and this could happen type idea.
Yeah.
And so as an adult, you grew up and you think like, okay, what's this going to happen? Or this is unknown, and it makes it very difficult to step out into that and into that uncertainty.
And to be able to adjust to the situation. And
the first very good male coach that I had, his name is William, and he's absolutely amazing. And he's so good at adapting to new situations. And almost he used to tell me, this is how you give yourself certainty in an uncertain situation. And he would teach me how to just ongoingly be curious and ask questions and just honestly, keep digging. And then it'll help you kind of, adapt into any new area. So that was a really good piece of advice too, that you could pass on to anyone that's going to be listening.
Cool. Okay. Jacqueline, thank you for coming on the show. I've learned a lot about you, and I'm sure our listener has as well. Awesome.
I could chat for the next 2 hours.
Yeah.
I can't even believe it's only been half an hour.
I know. It goes by quick. We could keep it going. I know.
Right.
Okay. And to all our listeners, thanks for listening to Canada's podcast. Like, comment, and subscribe to all our channels to get the latest podcasts from entrepreneurs across Canada. And we'll see you all next time. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.